Hi everyone. I welcome you all to this webinar on craft your winning resume stand out to recruiters with Sadaf Tahir. Let me tell you about few things about Sadaf. Sadaf, also known as Gurukul, is a certified professional who helps job seekers and professionals turn into brand to attract great job opportunities. With 2 degrees in 2 master degrees and 10 international certifications, she specializes in various skills such as LinkedIn for job search, resume writing, interview coaching, communication skills and personality development, and many more. She's a certified soft skills trainer and has helped many young gen to land amazing jobs. Sada has been featured in media outlets and her clients have landed jobs in well-reputed companies such as OC Tanner, Deloitte, Yes Bank, and many more. Her training has helped many generate leads and client 10x quicker, gain higher salaries, and better roles. Her motto is train, train, don't strain. I will now let Sada to take it from here.
Thank you so much, Amit. Good evening, everyone. It's an absolute delight seeing and speaking to all of you. I really wish I could have seen everyone, but given that we are in a webinar mode, hence these restrictions, but no problem. We have good amount of participants here with us. So just very few pointers before I begin. What is the language you want me to use? English or Hindi or English? If you can write that in the chat box, it will become easier for me. You can write down what is it that you're okay with. I'll make sure that I use a combination. Okay, I see a few English, I see a few Hindi, I can see English also. All right, no problem. What I'll do is I'll try to ensure that 70% of the communication is in English. And as and when, and that's absolutely fine, wherever you feel that you're getting stuck, you've not understood, you can actually put that query in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer anything and everything that comes up. Okay, so the language thing is clear. The second rule is again really important. I want all of you to grab a pen and paper, because every content, everything that we're going to learn today is something that is absolutely practical, something that you'll be implementing it, and something that will give you amazing superb results if you incorporate these elements in your resume. So I would want all of you to grab a pen and paper. That's one. And the third and last rule is participate, ask questions. If I'm asking you something, respond. That way we'll have a really productive session. Okay. So with that being said, let me very quickly share my presentation with all of you, and we are good to go. Is this visible? Can someone, probably show me the thumbs up feature or anything that will really help? Okay, visible. Great. Super. Great. Now, guys, the objective of this session is how do you create an effective resume? Now, I'm sure all of you probably have already a resume that you might have made, or some of you might not have made it. That's okay. But what's really crucial is it effective? So when I'm using the word effective, what I mean is it talking about what you have done in the best of words and impressing the recruiter? That's one. Second, is it compatible with the software that companies are using to shortlist candidates? Now, these are really two crucial elements. That is something that we're going to discuss. So to give you a quick outline as to what is it that we're going to do, this is what the outline looks like. Okay. We will cover some really crucial resume steps that you have to follow. Okay, that's one. Secondly, we will cover some of the most advanced resume writing guidelines. And I'm telling this to you that the moment you start, if this is the session that you've attended, you actually don't need a resume writer at all you'll never actually need a resume writer again in your life, because we'll be covering some of the most advanced resume writing tips. Okay, then we'll cover a few do's and don'ts, and followed by that we will cover ATS. Now, what is ATS? We'll cover all of that at the end. And then, of course, as and when in between or at the end, both ways, we will have a Q&A round. Okay, wherein I could answer all your queries, questions. I could already see a few questions here in the chat box, wherein a person has written how to cover 6 years of career gap. So don't worry, we're going to cover everything, everything. All right. Quiz time. Chalo, let's start with this. Now, I want to ask all of you a question first. What do you think is the average amount of time that an employer takes to review a resume? How many of you just write down A, B, C, D? What do you think is the right answer? Okay. Take a look. It's 6. Actually ranges between 6 to 10 seconds. That is the amount of time for the initial screening. Initial screening. This is the amount of time, because the recruiters have seen so much of resumes that it doesn't take them really a long amount of time. Now, this is when it gets really crucial. You have a window of just 6 to 10 seconds. Now it becomes even more crucial. Is your resume scannable? That means the later on reading, which will go beyond 6 seconds, 2 to 3 minutes, that will happen later. But क्या आपका resume scan करके, is it getting shortlisted by the recruiter? Is it good enough to move to the next round? This becomes even more crucial, that your resume should be scannable, readable at one go. That means all the important information, the recruiter should not have to hunt for it. Now, how do you create a resume which is scannable? That is something that we're going to cover. Okay, next question. Okay, the next pointer in here, something that will help you ensure that your resume is scannable, that you're not making those mistakes. Now, the reason why 6 seconds, that's because the resumes get rejected before the second round. That's because there are a lot of grave mistakes that people tend to make, which will ensure that your resume does not pass that 6-second test. So what are those mistakes? We'll cover that, so that before we move on to stuff like what you should do, first you should also know what you should not do. So let's cover that first. Okay. So top 10 grave mistakes that people tend to make. This is being one of them. Having typos and grammatical errors in your resume. A big red flag and a big no. Now, I can understand that some of you might not have great proficiency when it comes to English grammar. So my sincere advice to all of you would be, please install Grammarly in your Chrome. And the good thing now is, with ChatGPT, you can actually avail one of the best tools, and it can actually help you create some superb resume writing pointers and bullets. And I'll give you all those AI tools, don't worry about it, okay? But this is one really crucial element that you should actually avoid as much as possible. Make sure that your resume, you are proofreading it, and there should not be any typos or any grammatical errors. And in order to combat that issue, definitely you can use Grammarly. Now, this is also something that a lot of people tend to do. Now, honestly, answer me. Your friend has a great resume, and you've asked, how many of you have actually asked your friend or your cousin or your brother or your sister for their resume, and you've made changes to it, or you've used their resume to apply for jobs? How many of you have done that? And you can, send me a yes or a no in the chat box, private DM. That's absolutely fine. Okay, you use your friend's resume. Okay, super. Okay, the ones who are saying yes, thank you so much for being so honest. Now, this is where it gets really wrong. Let me ask you another question. Let's just say you have a great dress. Okay, you have a great dress. Tell me, can you wear that same dress to a wedding party, to your friend's casual birthday party, to an outing with your friends, to a funeral? Can you wear that same dress to every occasion? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of no's. Exactly my point. How can you then use the same resume to apply for 10 different jobs for which the requirement, for which the skills, for which the description is different? This is one of the most major mistake out of all the 10 that I'm about to discuss. This is one of the most major mistake. Reason being, this actually interferes with the ATS system, which of course we're going to talk about in some time. But the content on your resume does not match the job description because your resume is not customized. What is happening because of that? The content of your resume versus the content of the job description is different. and there is no match. So if there is no match, how will you show to the recruiter that you are a good fit for that profile? That means you've not customized your resume as per the requirement. So this is one of the most major mistakes that people tend to make. The next mistake is this. Now, a lot of people come up to me and say that, ma'am, how do we quantify? Now, there are a lot of people who are into marketing or sales. Okay. So for example, let's just say a student is working as a business development intern. For them, it becomes easier to quantify. Let's just say he's working in real estate company. It might be possible that he's gained a lot of revenue or converted a lot of clients. So in that case, definitely you can include numbers. But in a lot of students come up to me and say, ma'am, how do we quantify our data? It is not quantifiable. That is a myth. A lot of stuff, if you're not able to quantify, that means you're not clear of your own job roles and responsibilities yourself. I agree, not 100% of the things can be quantified, but there can be 2 to 3 or at least 4 things that you can quantify. Now, why is it crucial? Let me give you an example. Let's just say I tell you that I say a statement which says that I wrote content. Let's just say my job role is content writing intern, for example. Okay. Now I say that I write in my resume which says wrote content for social media profiles. Okay, let's just say for Instagram, for LinkedIn. That's it. Okay, this is my content, my bullet point. Now a lot of you might think, what's wrong with this? Okay, yes, it's absolutely right. The content is fine. But then the moment you add numbers to something, its credibility increases. So on the other hand, I wrote 30 plus content pieces for LinkedIn, which resulted in gain of followers by 30% within 15 days. Now see, this talks about my accomplishment. That, okay, I've written content, superb. But then what is the result of doing that? This is something that a lot of people don't focus on when they are writing their resumes. Again, this is something we'll discuss in detail, but I just wanted to bring this up to you upfront. And then this is where the next point comes in. A lot of people, and this is one of the most crucial mistakes that I've seen, not just freshers, but even experienced people make in their resume. They keep on writing responsibility, responsibility, responsibility. That means humne ye kiya, ye kiya, ye kiya, ye kiya, ye kiya. I have seen resumes of people, 7 to 8 pages resume I have seen of experienced people filled up with tasks, responsibilities, what they have done. Now imagine you are studying for your exam. Okay, that's a task, that's a responsibility. What do people ask you? How much did you score? Right? Why? Because I'm focused on the result. Don't you think recruiters also want to know what is the result? Let's just say I am asking you to work for me as a business development intern, or as a SEO intern, or let's say as a copywriter or a content writer or any role. Why am I hiring you as a recruiter? Just to perform tasks or to bring results out of those tasks. So if I'm hiring you as a business development intern, what do I want from you? That you convert clients, that you bring me profit. If I'm hiring you as a content writer, what do I want from you? Don't just write content. Because of your content, the reach of my page should increase. There should be more comments. There should be more traction. Don't you think? Now, what people do is they just write down duty, that I wrote content, I led to business development. How much? That is missing. That is when quantification and results come in really important. Now, in here, we'll discuss 2 things: quantitative data as well as qualitative data, which we're going to talk about in a bit. But all these things could be, implemented. Guys, I hope this is going well. I hope I'm not going too fast. All okay so far? Yes, no? Okay, super. Okay, let's move on to the other pointers that people tend to do. Now, a lot of people that I've seen, what they do is people tend to write I, me, myself, etc. All these words in the resume. This is again one big mistake that people tend to make. Even when it comes to career summary or when it comes to the resume bullet points, you are not supposed to write words like I, me, myself, etc. in the resume at all. It is wrong. So please don't do that. Next, again, you are wasting precious character space when you write something like references available upon request. A lot of people tend to write this in the resume, or they actually include reference name and mobile number. It is not needed. Please understand, when a recruiter wants reference, when a recruiter wants to contact your references, they will ask it to you over email or over call. You don't need to waste your precious resume space, because already आपके पास एक limited space है. So why do you want to waste the page length wherein you can write about yourself? Why do you want to write down names, mobile number, designation of other people? If they want that information, they will ask it to you. You don't have to put it on your resume at all. You don't even have to write that one liner, references available upon request. Of course, you'll provide the references when they ask you for it. Similarly, including that, a lot of college students and write that every information that I'm writing, there's a declaration. All the information provided by me is true and to the best of my knowledge. अरे जाहिर सी बात है, आपका रेज्यूमे, आप झूठा इंफॉर्मेशन क्यों दोगे? आपको ये बताने की जरूरत है that आप जो इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड कर रहे हो that is true and honest. You are not in court. It is understandable, it is already accepted that whatever information you've put in that 2 pages or 1 page, it has to be true. You cannot lie in your resume. You don't have to mention that at all. Unfortunately, guys, a lot of colleges focus on providing declaration. It is nothing but absolute nonsense. I will not advise you to do that in your resume. See, there are 2 things, okay? If you are a student and you're in a college and your college already has a set format, okay, whatever their format is, when it comes to your own campus placement, follow that, because they tend to do it because of uniformity. That means 200 students applying for a particular job role for a company, it's easy for the recruiters to scan the resume because they're all same. Okay, so if you're in a college and your college already has a set format, okay, then you can follow whatever format the college has provided you. But my advice to you would be that whenever you are applying outside college, okay, please don't use the college format at all. Majority of the college formats that I have seen are absolute rubbish, and I'm very honestly saying it out loud, because every majority of the college formats are not ATS proof. They have pictures, they have logos, they have tables, they have declaration, they ask you to write references. It is a sheer waste of space and page and unnecessary data that you don't need at all. So when you're in college and there's a campus placement, follow the format of the college. I am not saying anything, that is something that should be done. But when you're applying for companies on your own, or through LinkedIn, or through your own references, I will just not advise you to use the college format. Create your own resume and then apply. Okay. So this is one. Another advice would be, please have professional email addresses whenever you are putting up on your resume page, because definitely your resume, your email address goes. So having stuff like good looking boy or handsome hunk or sweet looking girl, ये सब नहीं चलेगा. Ideally for your first name or your last name, any professional email address is fine. Make sure that it is standard, it is uniform, and go for that. Same goes for your LinkedIn profile link also. Then next pointer, missing contact information. So when I say contact information, what all goes into your resume? Definitely your name. When it comes to your address, again, one more mistake that I have found people make is people tend to write the entire address of their house. House number this, gully number this, flat number this sector, this lane, this state, and then the pin code. Please understand, it is not just inappropriate, but it is also breach of privacy, and it could also lead to a breach of privacy and security. You don't need to write your complete address. All you have to write is this city and the state is absolutely fine. And if you want to include more, you can add the pin code. That is it. You don't need to write house number this, street number this, lane number this at all. Two reasons. Reasons being, you applied to with your resume at multiple websites also, it could cause privacy and security issues. Your entire address is not needed. If a recruiter wants your address for a reference check, they will ask you for it. You just have to write your city and your state. You can also include the pin code. That's it. You don't need to write the complete home address. I hope that's crystal clear to all of you. Then next pointer is this in here. What a lot of us again tend to do is Control C and Control V. Okay, bhai, tera resume acha hai, give it to me, I'll copy it and then Control V. Now, very honestly, if this thought of Control C and Control V comes in your mind, please Control Z it, undo it. Okay, reason being very simple. My resume or something that I have made, are you able to justify that format or that content? So please don't do that at all, which is why customization comes into picture. So please don't copy paste other people's resume thinking that it looks great, let me also use it. It really are the chances that it could really backfire. So avoid doing that. And then finally, this is also one element that I wanted to discuss. You don't need to add your picture in your resume at all. College format, different story, but when you're applying through LinkedIn or through any websites or through the website of any career section of any website or of a company, you don't add pictures, tables, logos. Reason being very simple. The software that companies use, a lot of those softwares, ETS compliant softwares, they are not compatible with pictures. So avoid putting your pictures. That's one. Another thing is, why I'm asking you to avoid putting your pictures is because it could lead to bias. Okay, when you add your picture, it could lead to a lot of bias on part of the recruiters, because again, they too are human beings. Third thing, why I'm asking you to not put up your picture is this: is the job role that you're applying to, does it need your face? Is your face the USP of that job? Let's just say you're applying for the role of SEO, search engine optimization expert, for example, or let's say a copywriter. Is your face the USP of that job? No, it's not. Think of the professions wherein the face is the USP. Journalist, their face is the USP because they are on camera or on TV. Air hostess. Sometimes even the people at the front desk, reception, they have to be really presentable, well groomed. For those roles, if you're applying for the job, your face, your picture in the resume is acceptable. But for other job roles, where your face has nothing to do with the job role, you don't need to add your picture. I've given you 3 reasons why your picture is not needed. I hope it's clear to all of you. Yes, no, all good? Okay, I'm getting a lot of requests from people wherein a lot of you are saying that show a proper layout of the resume. Guys, thoda thand rakho, we'll cover everything. See, I'm going slow. Step by step hogi cheeze. So by the end, everything would be answered. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we'll cover everything. I'll also show you a sample. I'll not show you one. I'll show you at least 4 to 5 different samples. Don't worry about it. So I hope with these things, the idea is very, very clear of what 10 things that you should avoid. Okay. Now that you know what is it that you have to avoid, let's just focus on what should be added in the resume. What are the components of a resume? So with that being said, actually, let me ask all of you this question. What do you think, what are the sections or headers that should be a part of a resume? Come on, answers in the chat box, please. What all elements can go into a resume? Okay, great. Neeraj, thank you. Education, what else? Objectives, skills, experience. Okay. Work experience, certification, thank you. Achievements. All right. Technical skills, thank you. Yep. Projects, absolutely. Interests, superb. projects that you might have worked on, all right. Hobbies, summary, all right, okay. Academics, career objective, exposure, okay. Okay, participation, any extracurricular activities, okay, sure. Personal details, okay, thank you, Khushbu. Let's see, skills and extracurricular activities, okay, all right. Achievements, academic background, interest, summary, co-curricular, okay. Internships, conferences or workshops that you might have attended. Declaration, we just talked that you don't have to add declaration. Professional summary, contact details, okay, great. Yeah, okay, super. Let's just see a few resume components that you can add in your resume. Yep. A lot of people see, when it comes to fresher job opportunities, you can have a career objective, education, any work experience or internships that you might have had, any projects that you might have done, certifications that you were a part of, any extracurricular, co-curricular activities, achievements, any research papers that you might have written, competitions that you were a part of, interests. Even one thing that I forgot to add, any languages that you know, okay, it's there, and skills. Now it could be technical skills, separate column, as well as soft skills, again it could be a separate column. So these are all pointers and headers that you can definitely include in your resume. Okay, now how do you build upon each of these? Now to talk about how do you create an effective resume, see, if you notice, majority of these, for example, writing languages is not a problem. You just write Hindi, English, Gujarati, Marathi, okay. Even writing skills is not a problem, because you're writing, let's say, confident or articulate, or you're writing any technical skills. So again, that is not a problem. If you have any certifications, you write down the name of the certification and you write down the organization name followed by the year. Now, and even when it comes to education, you write down 10th, 12th, school name, percentage, year, and that's it. The area where people get stuck in a resume are two areas. One, how do we write the career objective? Second, how do you write about the experience section? Because that is where 90% of your resume is. The bullet points, either internship or work experience. This is the area where people get stuck. What if I tell you that I will tell you 2 hacks that will solve all your problems? The area that you get stuck with the most, you'll be able to create your resume in less than 60 minutes. I'm about to tell you a hack. I will tell you a hack, okay? I will tell you a hack which will ensure that you don't get stuck on writing your resume bullet at all when it comes to either experience or your internship, as well as career objective. But these are majorly the components. If there's something else that you want to include, again, that is something that is absolutely fine. Again, for more experienced people, what they do is they write down, I'm sorry, for more experienced people, what they do is they write down the countries or geographies that they might have worked in. So again, applies to really senior people, but just an added information that I want to share. Okay, let's move on. Now, how do you create an effective resume with 4 steps? Now, this is where the entire real crux of our session is. There are really four to five things that you really need to focus on to create a resume that is result oriented and rich. First, you have to focus on the right action verbs, and I'll tell you what are action verbs. The 4 R's approach, something that I've invented. How do you justify your resume? I'm going to talk about it, and quantification. So let's just cover each of these 4 one by one. Okay, action verbs, quantification, justification, and the 4 R's approach. Let's just cover each of these one by one. Now, this, if you follow this process or this format, there is nothing that could actually really stop you from creating a really result oriented, rich resume, something that will talk for you even before you meet the recruiter. Okay, so let's just focus on this first. First thing, tell me, what do you think are action verbs? Can you write down a few examples in the chat box? A few examples in the chat box. Action verbs kya hote hain? Okay, led, thank you. Led, thank you, Akriti. facilitated, developed, thank you Sanskar, worked, achieved, yes, managed, performed, developed, created, organized, superb, researched, yep, yep, correct, synergized, okay, okay, superb. So action verbs, I'm sure you would have studied this in school, are words that showcase what action you have taken. Something very, very simple. Now, a few pointers that you need to realize is this. So in the resume, हम हर जो resume bullet start करते हैं, it needs to start with an action verb. You never start your resume bullet with I did this. You never do that. It always needs to start with action verb. That's the first thing. Another thing, for example, I have written, let's just say, managed 3 events in college for college extracurricular events. Okay, so you've written what you've done. Now you've already used managed once. What people tend to do is they write down the same action verbs 2 or 3 times. You should not do that. So the first tip that I'd like to give you is this. You should use different action verbs for every bullet. That means if you have 6 resume bullets, you need to use 6 different action verbs in your resume. You should never ideally repeat any action verb. Now, why is that the case? That's because the more and better action verbs that you use, the more skills you can showcase to the recruiter. Why? Imagine a situation wherein I am writing 6 different action verbs. I've written organized, I've written created, I've written developed, I've written researched. So हर एक action verb के साथ मेरा एक skill समझ में आ रहा है. When I've written managed, what does it tell the other person? That I can manage things. When I've written created or researched, what does it tell? Okay, I have research skills also. With every new action verb, you can actually talk about a skill. So that's the first thing you need to understand. Another thing is this. Let's just say a lot of you might have done a lot of internships. Okay. Now the internship is already over. So always you write whatever has happened in the past tense. So for example, your current job, let's just say you're currently in a job role. Okay. Your current job role, in your current job role, you have to manage a lot of events. You have to also research a lot of stuff. So you write that in present because it is still ongoing. So what do you write? Manage events for the company through whatever. So see, it's not managed, it is managed because you are still in that internship or that work. Research content pieces for social media posts. So research लिखा है, researched नहीं लिखा. हाँ, अगर वो internship खत्म हो गई है, then you will write researched. So this is something that you have to ensure. If the internship or work is ongoing, chalu hai, you write present tense. If it is over, past tense. Now this will give you a lot of clarity. Take a look at this. Let me hide. Yeah, take a look at this. Worked, action verb. Then look at this. Next one. Increased, action verb again. We'll go through things, don't worry. Look at this. Generated, action verb. Retained. Now see, with every bullet, you're getting to know something. Now in here, work with a team of 10 plus to ideate, create, maintain, and update lightweight materials. Okay, okay. Look at this. Increased production efficiency by 15%. Now see, every action verb, generated, retained. So it's all in past tense. These are action verbs: worked, increased, generated, retained. This is what you have to focus on. Every time you use an action verb, it has to be a different one. And if the work or experience is over, it has to be in past tense. Okay. Let's just look at a few more examples. Look at this. Reduced process discrepancies by 15% through accurately maintaining performance reporting data system. Look at this. Created, produced and implemented, managed, delegated, throughout different action verbs. And now please understand, the better the action verbs, the better your resume, the better it shows your skill sets to the recruiter. Now take a look at this. I just created this post long time back. you can actually showcase the recruiter what you have done by using the right action verbs. Let's just say, for example, you solved a challenging problem. You can use all these action verbs: negotiated, reconciled, restructured, revised. If you did something which helped the organization save time or money, look at this: decreased, optimized, standardized, streamlined. You led to better sales. So attained, drove, gained, generated, maximized, outperformed, yielded. Look at the quality of action verbs. On the other hand, आप 3 बार देखो: managed, 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 organized, organized, organized. What is more impressive, these words or the plain generic ones that you're using? So you can actually follow this approach, wherein you use quality action verbs to showcase better stuff. Now, in case if you're wondering, where do you find more action verbs as per the work that you've done? So I have already given you a website right here. This is where you can get all the action verbs. Okay, guys, since I'm not getting any responses, so is this good enough? Is this clear? Because, you know, I'm not able to see all of you, so I don't know whether चीजें ठीक है या नहीं, whether it's clear or not. Okay, great, super. Crystal clear, super. All right, ठीक है, great. Let's move on to the next aspect. हाँ, okay, I think I've got an answer wherein someone is saying, "मैम हिंदी." ठीक है, मैं हिंदी में बात करती हूँ थोड़ी देर, so that I cater to both parties. Quantification, that means number. Okay, how can you quantify your resume, और वो क्यों जरूरी है? That's because numbers don't lie, और आपके resume को एक credibility मिल जाती है. Okay, so मेरा question बहुत simple है. मैं आपको एक resume bullet दिखा रही हूँ. This is the resume bullet. Okay, just read this. Conceptualize a new blog initiative. तो इसमें action verb क्या है? Conceptualized. A new blog initiative, that means एक नया blog this person started, जिसकी वजह से, you know, he got in touch with all engineers, designers, writers, because of which there was a lot of organic sessions and introduced new users to website. What do you think? Do you think this resume bullet is good, bad? What do you think? How is it? Okay, good, bad? What do you think? Okay, it's too long. Okay. Okay. Let me show you another one. Okay, so this is something that you've told me. दूसरा देखो. Take a look at this. Conceptualize a new blog initiative that united engineers, designers, and writers, generating over 3 million organic sessions and introducing over 1 million unique users to the website, resulting in 25% profit hike. अब मुझे बताओ that if you are a recruiter, ठीक है, you are a recruiter, और आपके सामने एक ऐसा रेज्यूमे आए जिसमें 1 और 2 ये दोनों पॉइंटर्स मेंशन्ड हैं, which one would you be more impressed with, 1 or 2? Exactly. 2. Reason being, it talks numbers. It gives me specific data. More importantly, it tells me what is the result of what you have done. So if you have started a new blog initiative, आपने कुछ नया start किया है, उसका result क्या है? ये है result. And if you notice, there are 3 result-oriented things that are mentioned here. What did it do? 3 million organic sessions. How many unique users? 1 million. Profit kitna raha? 25%. Now, do you think we can improve this? Do you think we can elevate this a notch higher? Yes. And this is something new that again I brought in. Now, just imagine, or यहाँ पर है नहीं, but still I just want you to imagine this. So you have option 1, मैंने आपको दिखा दिया. I showed you option 2 also. इस option 2 में बस एक pointer add कर दो. In less than 30 days, resulting in 25% profit hike in less than 30 days or within a month. Now imagine, there is a person who has done the same thing. he has come up with a new blog initiative. Okay, he also generated 3 million organic sessions, 1 million unique users to the website, 25% profit hike. But he accomplished all that in 6 months. On the other hand, there is a person who has done the same result but in 1 month. Tell me which one is more effective, 6 months or 1 month? Exactly. So the moment you add timeline in your bullet point, आपका resume bullet और ज्यादा effective हो जाता है. ये कहीं ना कहीं आपने नंबर डाला ना, क्वांटिफिकेशन का मतलब सिर्फ प्रॉफिट नहीं है, टाइमलाइन भी है कि आपने अगर कोई काम किया है, you've done a task, in how much of time frame have you accomplished it. That also showcases your productivity and your efficiency. Your manager has given you a task. There is one person who takes 2 hours. There's one person who's taking 12 hours. Who is more efficient? Same quality, same result. The person who does it in 2 hours. So the moment you add a timeline to it, again, things become even more crucial because you are showcasing your efficiency. So this is the power of quantification. Now I want you to again compare 1 and 2. नंबर्स ऐड करने से ये होता है आपके रेज्यूमे बुलेट पे, वो बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्टिव हो जाता है आपका बुलेट, रेज्यूमे बुलेट. ओके, सो लेट्स proceed. Simple being numbers don't lie. Let me show you a few examples. Okay, this is again something that when I don't know, probably it was not introduced. So I'm a TEDx speaker. Okay, I recently delivered my TED talk on resume. So ये presentation, I've not edited it right now. So instead of WXYZ, it is WHIT, WIT approach, something that I've come up with. Okay, तो ये ऐसे स्टैंड करता है कि WXYZ approach is what did you do, आपने किया क्या, how did you do it, what was the result of it, and in how much time frame did you accomplish. So this is what I call it as the WIT approach. What did you do, how did you do it, impact क्या था, कितने timeline में आपने वो चीज accomplish या complete करी है. So if you notice, ये जो WIT approach है, ये throughout इस resume bullet में आपको नजर आएगी. Let's just focus on it. Okay, so a lot of you are saying that, ma'am, how do you write an effective resume bullet? This is the framework I will advise you to follow. WIT, what did you do, how did you do it, what was its impact, यहाँ पे result लिखा है, impact, result, and in how much time frame did you accomplish it. So take a look, what did you do, ये देखो, conceptualize a new blog initiative, यही किया ना, कैसे किया, by uniting engineers, designers and writers, है ना. Impact क्या था, generated 3 million organic sessions, 1 million unique users, resulting in 25% profit hike. और time frame यहाँ पे added नहीं है, see, in less than 15 days. I hope this is clear. ये पूरा bullet जो आपको दिख रहा है, that is through WIT approach. Now my advice to all of you would be, whenever you are carving your resume bullet, follow this WIT approach. What did you do, how did you do it, what was its impact, and how much time frame did you accomplish or follow what you had to. This is, अगर आपका now imagine आपका हर एक बुलेट आपके रिजल्ट्स के बारे में बात कर रहा है, आपका रेज्यूमे तो रिच हो गया. How is it possible that a recruiter will not be impressed? आपने 6 बुलेट्स लिखे हैं और उसमें ऑलरेडी 6 में से 3 बुलेट्स में आपकी अकॉम्प्लिशमेंट और रिजल्ट्स के बारे में बात हो रही है. What makes you think a recruiter will not be impressed and he would not call you up and want to schedule an interview with you? Impossible. He will call because already you've made a very rich resume. Okay. Next point that I wanted to talk about is, how do you justify your resume? Now, what do I mean by justify? A simple example I'll give you. Let's just say that I tell you that I'm a good dancer. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Okay, but I say that I'm a very good dancer. Okay, why should you believe me just because I'm telling you? But मैं आपको बोलूं that I have won 20 dancing competitions in school, college, and I've performed in front of very big personalities in a lot of corporate houses to a lot of people. मैं आपको ये बोलूं, तो आपको लगेगा कि ओके शी हैज परफॉर्म्ड सो मेनी टाइम्स, दैट मींस शी इज अ गुड डांसर, that means I have already justified my skill. So a lot of times what people do is we write down stuff, हम skills लिख देते हैं, बट हमारे रेज्यूमे में कहीं पे भी हम जस्टिफाई नहीं कर पाते कि ये चीज है भी या नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर माइट बी अ फ्यू engineers here. आप लिखो दैट यू आर ग्रेट एट यू नो कुबरनेटिस और यू नो डॉकर और यू नो मशीन लर्निंग और आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. आपने ये सारे टर्म्स लिख दिए फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बट आपके रेज्यूमे में कहीं पे भी वो चीज साबित नहीं हो रही है दैट वेयर हैव यू यूज्ड इट, वन, और have you any or have you got any achievements in that particular skill. That means आपका रेज्यूमे जस्टिफाई हो ही नहीं रहा है, स्किल जस्टिफाई नहीं हो रहा है. आप बोल रहे हो कि आप इस चीज में अच्छे हो, तो मैं कैसे मानूं एज अ रिक्रूटर? उस पे काम किया है? नहीं. कोई अचीवमेंट्स हैं? नहीं. कोई इस चीज में सर्टिफिकेशन है? नहीं. तो जस्टिफाई हुआ कहाँ? इंटरव्यू में तो बाद में वो चीज आएगी, पहले आपका रेज्यूमे में वो चीज कहाँ जस्टिफाई हो रही है? Please understand the importance of this document. You meet the recruiter later. You see the recruiter later. First, your resume is the document that recruiters see. Is it talking on your behalf that you are a good candidate? Is your resume talking about your skills, your strengths, your achievements, your results? Are you able to justify कि हाँ ये skill मेरे पास है? कि आपका resume वो चीज बात कर पा रहा है? Please understand, इंटरव्यू आपका बाद में होगा. आप अपने स्किल्स और एक्सपर्टीज और क्वालिफिकेशन बाद में बोलोगे रिक्रूटर को. क्या आपका रेज्यूमे बोल रहा है आपके लिए, आपके बिहाफ पे आपका रेज्यूमे पिच कर रहा है आपको? That is exactly what is called as justifying your skill. Let me show you some examples. For example, आपने अपने रेज्यूमे में लिखा है लीडरशिप. हम कई बार लिख देते हैं लीडरशिप. Okay, how can you justify that you have leadership skills? कभी कोई स्पोर्ट्स कंपटीशन में कैप्टन रहे हो, कोई टीम को लीड किया है, कभी टीम लीडर रहे हो, कोई इवेंट्स मैनेज करें? नहीं सर, वो तो नहीं किया. Then how can you say that you're a leader? सर वो तो मैं जब ज्वाइन करूंगा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आई विल शोकेस लीडरशिप स्किल्स. लोग ऐसी बात करते हैं ना. सो आपका रेज्यूमे जस्टिफाई कहाँ हुआ? सो हाउ कैन यू जस्टिफाई अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स? अगर आपने कोई स्किल लिखा है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लीडरशिप, ओके, you can justify things in your work experience section. Let's just say आपने इंटर्नशिप में एक टीम मैनेज करी है या आप टीम लीडर रहे हो. फॉरगेट इंटर्नशिप, इंटर्नशिप नहीं भी है, कॉलेज तो गए हो ना, स्कूल तो गए हो, स्कूल कैप्टन रहे हो, या फिर कोई एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज, क्रिकेट, स्पोर्ट्स, हॉकी में पार्ट लिया होगा, टीम मैनेज की होगी, स्पोर्ट्स अप्लाई किया होगा, और in your colleges you might have had teams group presentations wherein you took care of everything. वो justify नहीं होगा skill में. You can enter that. Let's just say you've written some technical skill, tally और AI, machine learning, कोई भी technical skill, your own area. कोई internship experience है उसमें, कोई freelance experience है, या कोई project किया है उसको लेके. Or if you're an engineer, do you have something on GitHub on that project to showcase yes you know that skill? तो ये जरूरी नहीं है that you need to have an internship or a work experience to justify your skill. You could have done projects on that particular skill. Let's just say you are saying that you're good at artificial intelligence or machine learning or SEO. Okay, you're just a fresher, no one has given you a job. How can you justify that you know it? Do you have any proof of application or knowledge, any certification? That could be a justification that okay, you know basics of it. It could also be in these sections. Let's just say you're saying you're a great guitarist, or you're a superb dancer, or you're a very good singer. How do I know? Forget any awards or achievements. At least have you participated in any singing or dancing competition? कोई बात नहीं अगर आपने जीता नहीं है तो that's fine, वो जरूरी नहीं है. जीता हो तो और better चीज है, because it will show okay that you're good at it. But if you're saying you're a dancer, you're a guitarist, you are a chess player, have you at least participated in 1 or 2 chess competitions or dancing competitions or singing competitions? Don't you think वो चीज justify कर रही है? So if you're writing dance and you've written participated in 15 inter college or inter school dancing competitions, तो वो match हो रहा है ना, क्योंकि dance लिखा है, participate किया है. There's a match. That is justifying your skill. Now imagine if you are able to do this for everything that you write in your resume, for every skill. If you're writing leadership, it shows in your resume कि हाँ इस बंदे के पास leadership skill है, he has managed teams. If you're writing any technical skill, let's say Tally, okay, he's done a freelance work on Tally. He's saying that he knows machine learning. All right, he has a certification on machine learning from, let's say, Coursera or Udemy. Imagine your ability to justify everything that you have written in your resume. What is the impression that goes to the recruiter? He's honest, credible. That is the power of justifying your skill set. Okay, let's see. I hope this is clear to all of you. I will, guys, I will answer all your queries towards the end. We have time till 6:30. Don't worry. The last 15 minutes, that means time till 6:15, I will keep only and only for your Q&A. So I'm not looking at the chat box right now, but I will answer everything that you've put up here. So don't worry. So like I said, when you justify your resume, when you justify your skill set, you actually make your resume talk for you on your behalf. Because क्या हो रहा है, आप नहीं बोलोगे उस टाइम कि मैं लीडरशिप हूँ, आपको ऑलरेडी रेज्यूमे बात कर रहा है आपके बारे में, that I have leadership skills, I have good communication skills, I am confident. For example, I want to write down that I'm a very good communicator in my resume. I want to prove to the recruiter that I'm a good communicator. How do I showcase? I have done more than 200 workshops pan India. The person will know, okay, that this person is really confident, she's a good communicator, she speaks really well. Why? Because I've already let my resume talk on my behalf. I don't have to go in the interview, explain, because my resume is already doing that. Okay. And then the last element that I want to tell you is the 4 R's approach. Now, before I reveal what are the 4 R's, take a guess. What do you think it can be? What do you think the 4 R's can be? Make a guess. Readable, responsibility, research, reliable, requirement, 4 rules. नहीं, RRR नहीं, नहीं RRR नहीं है. Reuse, recycle, reduce. Okay, that's really interesting, guys. Very innovative. R से confident कहाँ से आ जाएगा? All right, ठीक है, चलो. Let me reveal what are the 4 R's. What is the 4 R's approach? Okay. Now, this is when it gets really interesting. Please understand that your resume should not just be about what you have done. Okay, now this is where people focus on, for example, let's just say you're working as an intern. I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. 10 आप list of tasks लिख देते हो कि मैंने ये भी किया है, मैंने ये भी किया है, मैंने ये भी किया है. अगर अभी आप अपना resume देखोगे, if you currently have your resume, just read it carefully. Your resume will focus just on what you have done. What was your responsibility? On the other hand, this is what your resume should focus on. It should focus on what you have achieved from doing that task. A lot of people, reverse things. Your resume tends to focus on what you've done, what you've done, what you've done. It should instead focus on what you have achieved out of those tasks that you have performed. So these are the 4 R's: reward, result, roles, responsibility. Your resume bullet should start from rewards, then it should move to results, then it should move to roles, and then it should move to responsibility. Let me actually show you very quickly an example to just make you run through this. This will really help you understand what I'm talking about. I'll show you my resume. That will give you a lot of clarity on what is it that I'm talking about. Okay, so let me stop sharing this and share my presentation. Guys, do you remember the sequence? What was the sequence? Come on, write down. Reward was the first. Yes. Then what was next? Results. Yes. Then it was okay. Okay, result and responsibility. All right. Okay, fine. Okay, let me very quickly share my resume with all of you. That will give you a lot of perspective. Okay. I hope this is visible. Now, take a look at this. I have my professional experience written here. Okay, I've written down the name of the organization, etc., etc. Now, can you see this? The resume bullet that starts, it starts with the reward. Look at this, received best employee award and pat on the back for the year 2021. Okay, then again, it talks about reward, promoted to DM, then double promotion. So the first three bullets talk only and only about my reward. Now again, it's not result, rewards that I have got as an employee. Okay, and then of course it is all results and then all the responsibilities and tasks. But also take a look at this, the roles, the multiple roles that I have handled or some roles that I take care of. Now please understand, why is this crucial? Okay, actually let me reshare this again, just a second. Take a look at this. I've written down the roles here that I take care of. Okay, and then if you scroll down, what people tend to do is, take a look at this. I've also written content writing and marketing, and then I've written two bullets here. Now I'll explain first as to what is going on. That way you'll have more clarity. It happens many times that when you're a part of an organization, you take care of multiple roles or you take care of multiple diverse areas that don't fall into your area of work. Okay, for example, let's just say you are working in an organization as a quality check intern, for example. Okay, as a quality check intern. Now given the fact that your manager saw that you're also great at graphic designing, so he asked you to create some graphics, and now that has become, let's just say, sort of temporary part of your work. Now what do people do when you create your resume and when you write these bullets? People will tend to include that separate thing, that graphic designing work that you've done here only. Now what will happen? That work which is additional, which is new, which is a good skill that you have, it will get drowned in these multiple bullets. Why will it get drowned? Because there's already too much information. But if you create a separate header like this, something let's just say called as graphic designing, and then you write down the bullet, it will not get drowned. So what you're doing is you're creating a separate tab or role that you have managed, and then you're writing the responsibility all apart. This is what a lot of people don't understand, and it is because of that despite the fact that you are someone who has done a lot of multitasking, your work will get dissolved in the 10 or 15 bullets that you have written. So just a minute. Yeah, so if you notice, when you're writing your resume bullet, always start with rewards first. Now why is it that you need to start with rewards? It is a clear indication that even your organization values you as an employee. It is because that you're a good employee that they are rewarding you. So if I am a recruiter and I see that, okay, this student was awarded as the best intern for 3 months, what is my impression of you as a candidate? That he's actually good. That's because the previous organization has also rewarded him. So you start with rewards. Why? Because in a way it is talking about your accomplishments as an employee, the amount of effort that you've put in. Again, one of the biggest mistakes that people do, people tend to write their accomplishments right at the last. Now imagine, as a recruiter, what did we learn? 6 to 10 seconds आपका scan time होता है. और अगर आप recruiter हो, आपके पास time होगा कि मैं बिल्कुल last page पे जो बिल्कुल last में जो bullet लिखा हुआ है वो क्या है. I need to see what is right at the top. So you need to start with rewards always. That's because it's the most crucial important information. आपको सबसे important information आप पहले लिखोगे या last में लिखोगे? It should be written at the first pick. Then you need to write down what is the results that you've achieved. Moving on, जो roles आपने handle किए और फिर उन roles के under you will write down your responsibility. Now, why is this crucial? One, it will showcase the recruit. It will make your resume scannable. The 6-second test it will pass. Second, it will talk on your behalf. Third, roles के basis पे it will show that you're a multitasker. This is the importance of following this sequence of the 4 R's approach. Now, please let me tell you this. This is not something that you will find on Google at all. This is all well researched, well thought of, observed content after observing more than thousands of resumes across. Okay, so follow this sequence and trust me, there's zero chance that you will not get through when you follow this approach of resume writing. Okay, let me stop sharing this, share a few sample resumes that will really give you a clear-cut idea on how to proceed with. All right, take a look. Right there, name at the top. You have the mobile number, email ID, the name of the college. Look, it's just Pune, India. All right. And then you have a profile just in 3 lines. Okay, followed by education. So again, looks really neat. So first bachelor's and then moving on to master's and then another one with the name of the organization and the year. And then followed by experience. So this is what it looks like. Name of the organization, the designation, and then the date. And then throughout, there are different action verbs. Look at this: curated, managed, transformed, led. Another input that I forgot to give you here is this. After you've written this bullet, you'll notice that there are no full stops. You're not supposed to put full stops after bullet. Remember this. So you already have a bullet here. So there are no full stops after your pointer that you've written. Another input that I'd like to give you here is this. Ensure that your resume bullet, the maximum that I'm asking you, it should be 2.5 lines. It should not go beyond that, 3 to 4. So at the max, unless it's something really crucial that you have to add, you can move to 3, but don't go beyond 3. In fact, my advice would be stick to 2 lines, like the way it is here. If it goes beyond that, that means you need to edit. So these 2 lines are absolutely fine. Okay, then again, take a look here. Name of the organization, what was the location, and then the date. Look at this. Throughout, it is action verbs: designed, appraised, assembled, campaign, all past tense. This is a very neat resume that you could take the reference. Look at this: certificates, any voluntary actions or organizations that you were a part of, skills mentioned like it here. This is a very neat resume format that you can take the reference with. I'll show you another one, just a minute. This was one. This was something that I was currently working on. It's still incomplete, but I'll still show it to you. Okay, so you take a look. Again, this is something very, very simple and you can create this on your own. I'm glad I opened this one. So you have the name at the top. Okay, then followed by that, you have the mobile number, you have the email address, and then if you notice, see, I have not, a lot of people actually make this mistake. What they do is you write down LinkedIn completely and then you put your URL. Wait, I'll just show it to you. What people tend to do is आप लोग अपना URL डाल देते हो. Wait, just a second, I'll hide this. What people do is Let me stop sharing this. I'll just show it to you what people actually tend to do, okay, and what is it that you should follow. So I'll just very quickly share my LinkedIn profile, okay. This is my LinkedIn profile, okay. Now just notice very quickly what I'm doing, okay. I'm going to my profile URL that, like you can see, I've clicked on it and I've put Control-C, okay. Now I'm stopping this share. Now what people do is this. What a lot of you do is you enter your URL like this in your resume. अब कई बार आपका जो LinkedIn URL होता है, that is anyway not clean, और ये link is not a very good idea act of including in your resume. So I will advise you something better, okay. I'll advise you to do embed your link in your resume. So you write LinkedIn like this, select it, right click it, and go to this link, okay. Now remember what I did. I copied my LinkedIn URL and I've put it in address here and I click on OK. Now see what happened. Ye embed ho gaya. That means the moment when I convert this file to a PDF version, okay, this link will be clickable, because look at this. Can you see this? Click to follow link. It already says about my LinkedIn profile link. This is a better, cleaner, and a more professional way of adding your LinkedIn information in your resume. And then you have the summary, you have core competencies, you have all the bullets, and then all the internship. Look at this: name, the organization, the date, format, the designation, and you have all the bullets written here. So this is the most, this is a good acceptable format, and you don't need any sort of softwares or anything. You can please understand, when it comes to ATS software, this is one of the most acceptable formats, a PDF, a simple format that you could follow with. Okay. I think it's about 6:15. Let me take up all the questions that have come up here in the chat box. So I'll start right from the beginning. We have lots of information. If unwanted information in resume writing, no 10 pages in resume, it will be your information in 1 page. I don't understand what your question, Jay. If you could please reframe the question, that will really help me. All right, here it is, guys. The LinkedIn post that I created, it's here. You can download the sample free of cost on my LinkedIn profile. Okay, so you can do that. Just a second. Let me go back to ma'am, what if the street, area, and address is compulsory or required from the interviewer's link? In your resume, no, that's not needed at all. For example, if I have to write it right now, so I just write down Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra is what I write. You don't need to write the entire home address, street address at all in your resume. If it is mandatory, then add it, not a problem, because they've asked you for it. Ma'am, can you provide a proper layout? I just provided you a layout, so I hope that helps. Let's see. Okay. There's so much going on, so it'll take some time to get to the question. Project, how many lines should be added, ma'am? I think 1 to 2 lines is great, describing what is the project and what is the result of it. So that should be enough. Something again that I've seen a lot, which is, let's just say if your project is fairly technical and you want to showcase that work, you can also include and embed that link. The way I showed you how to embed LinkedIn link, you can also embed your project link. So you can do that. Okay. In 1 to 2 lines, you can mention what your project is about. Declaration is not needed at all. If your college format, the college format states that you need a declaration, do it in the college format. Don't create your resume with a declaration, your personal resume with a declaration. If interested, we can add hobbies, 100%. You can add hobbies for sure. If you don't have any achievements, what can you write? You can write down career objective, you can write down education, you can write down internships. My advice would be go for internship that adds much more value than achievements, because that shows your actual work. So that's okay. It shows personal skills. Guys, just 1 minute. Okay, I'm just scrolling through. Can you tell me a sample resume? I already shared that. So actually, I was the HOD for department in the cultural committee, but don't have any certifications to justify that. That's absolutely fine. See, guys, if you don't have any certification to showcase your work or any internship that you might have had, it is absolutely fine. As long as what you're stating is true, that is okay. That is absolutely fine. You can definitely put it, even if you don't have a paper or a certification to prove it. But you need to make sure that you sound authentic. What you're saying is true to the best, and it's you're not lying. So as long as you don't have any paper, that's fine. But if you're able to justify it in the interview, that is absolutely okay. What should I do if I have studied from YouTube videos? Please explain. You can include that in the technical skill sets. So for example, if you've studied something from YouTube and you're proficient at it, for sure you can include it in skills. You don't have to mention that you've read it from YouTube, not needed, but put it in your skill section. You don't have to write it YouTube at all. When of course time comes of the interview wherein they ask, then you can mention it self-learned and through YouTube. That's actually a very good thing, that it shows that you are someone who takes the initiative of learning things on their own. So that's fine. You don't have to mention YouTube, just put it in the skill section. Sample resume for freshers. I think something that I've just shared with you is already a sample one, so that's fine. Guys, when it comes to a sample resume, see, when it comes to freshers, then what will happen is probably your internship or work experience part will go. There are other things that will come up in that case, so that's fine. What should I be writing as a fresher candidate? Any internships that you might have had? What is your career objective, your skills? Any website for building ATS free? Okay, I'll just share it with all of you. And can you upload and show us one resume ATS software? Is it needed to write so much about work experience or projects too? See, it is not mandatory at all to write so much. In fact, if you're a fresher, a one-pager resume is actually more than enough for you. Don't have to create a 2-page resume at all. If it's 1 page, that is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Can we write precisely that resume will? Yes, actually, it's actually advisable for freshers to create a 1-pager resume. You don't need a 2-pager resume at all. I don't know who told you this. I'm a fresher, so don't have any work experience, and how should I fill that up? Guys, apart from internship and work experience, we discovered 10 and 9 other components that I just showed it to you. Any research work, any projects that you might have done. See, that is why it becomes even more crucial. I know why this question is coming up again and again. And I get this a lot, where students ask me, ma'am, what do we write in our resume? Kuch bhi nahi hai. Internship nahi hai, work experience nahi hai. I get it. Which is why it becomes even more crucial that you need to participate in other things. Extracurricular activities in school, in college, any projects that you might have done, technical projects, if you're an engineer or if you're a technical graduate, or even if you're an MBA student or whatever, you need to do some projects. You need to go for certifications. There are people that I've seen who don't have any internship, who don't have any work experience, but they have at least 10 to 12 different certifications. Right about that. तो कुछ ना कुछ तो आपको fill करना पड़ेगा. जरूरी नहीं है internship or work experience. It can be certifications. It can be extracurricular activities. I'm not saying awards. कुछ तो होना चाहिए ना. Because then, see, I'm not saying that everyone will have internships, but then what will you add? You can either add certification or you need to write down extracurricular activities. Otherwise, what is in a fresher's resume? Because obviously work experience fills up the majority part. But let's just say in your first year, that is exactly why I advise students the moment they join college, that by the end of, let's just say if you're a graduate, by the end of your 3rd year, ये question नहीं आना चाहिए कि मैम resume लिखे क्या. ये problem इसीलिए आती है, that's because you've not done anything right from the beginning. ये problem इसीलिए आती है. That's because you've been, I'm sorry for saying that, but you've been actually wasting your time. You've not been engaging yourself in relevant things. Now imagine if you are someone who participates a lot in extracurricular activities, or who have 5-6 certifications. I'm not saying paid certifications, it could even be free certifications. There are some amazing free certifications. You won't believe, IIM Bangalore is offering 10 to 12 free certifications on finance and general management. You just go to their website and search. You don't have to shell out thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees to get certified from a good quality organization. Coursera has some amazing certifications. Udemy has free certifications. What makes you think you cannot go for it? LinkedIn Learning has free certifications, guys. And at this point of time, especially after the COVID brink, if you're saying that you're not upskilling yourself and you're not engaging in multiple things, then you are the one who is at fault and at wrong. It's not the college, it's not your organization who's not giving you internship opportunities. You are at fault. Please understand, it is skill-based hiring now. Recruiters don't care about how much marks you've got or how many degrees you have. They care only and only what is your skill. It is skill-based hiring. So upskill yourself. Okay. I'm a fresher, so I don't have any work experience. How should I fill up that portion? I told you, certifications, freelance projects. Especially if you are a technical graduate or an engineer, my serious advice would be GitHub. If you have some projects on GitHub, that will be great. Or if you could anyway showcase your, I think even there's something called as HackerRank. So showcase your work and your projects on other websites. Build a portfolio. Then let's see how many pages is required for a resume. For a fresher, I think a 1-pager resume is great. What does Google look for in a CV? I think we've just told you that your work, relevant work experience and achievements. Show us a resume without work experience and no internship. You can skip the experience and internship section and fill up the rest of the stuff. I just showed you how to embed the link. If you share the resume for a review on your mail given in LinkedIn, is it charged? Yes. Where can we get resume templates? I just gave you one template. I just answered that question. What does Google look? Your accomplishments. In fact, the WIT approach that I told you, that is exactly what Google looks for. Show me your LinkedIn profile again. You can search my LinkedIn profile. I have already just given you the link of the post, and you can go to navigate to my LinkedIn profile through that. Is it correct way to add ongoing courses and internship in resume? 100%. Of course, you can write down present if you are interning at some organization. We didn't receive the link. I actually shared the link here. I will reshare it. Can we post same resume for different role and different company? Thank you for asking that question. Let me very quickly show you something. Because you have 6 minutes, I will very quickly tell you what. Okay. So guys, this happens to be my profile. If you have not received the link, I'm copying this link again and resharing it. Done. I've reshared the link, and from here you can navigate in case you want to reach out to my LinkedIn profile. Okay, very quickly, I will show you something live. Okay, I have gone to jobs. Okay, I clicked on jobs on LinkedIn. Okay, and let's just say I'm typing. Let's just say I am looking for the role of business development intern. Okay, I type business development. Okay. Business development intern. Okay, I just type that in the chat box, and then I change this to India. Okay, and then I clicked on jobs. Okay, so I have opened a job opportunity on LinkedIn. I'm looking for a business development intern role in India. Okay, look at the first one. It is marketing intern, Pune and Altair. Okay, now what have I done is, so you have the entire job description here. Okay, that this is what they want me to do: train students on software, develop students, etc., etc., all of this. Now what happens is, you apply for this job role. Okay, now this is how ATS works, applicant tracking system works. You have this job role here, okay, and you apply it from your resume. Now what happens, what the way ATS works is, this is the job description, okay, and then this is your resume. It matches the word of the job description to the words of your resume. Now what's happening, you have not edited your resume as per the keywords that are written here in this job description. So what's going to happen, the software matches the words in the job description to the words in your resume. So obviously words नहीं match हो रहे हैं, तो क्या होगा, आपका score कम होगा. So this is the reason why your resume does not get shortlisted, and just in 1 or 2 days you get a rejection email. That's because you have not matched your resume with that of the job description. So how do you do that? I'll very quickly give you a site which is called as Resume Worded. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'll very quickly share it with you here. Just a second. Yeah, here it is. So look at this. This is the site which is called as Resume Worded. Now, if you click on this site, I hope this is visible. So what it does is, it's an excellent site for job seekers. Okay, what you do is, you can also just a second. Wait. Can you see this? Score my resume. So you click on this, on Resume Worded. Now what you do is, you click on this part. Okay, we'll have to log in. Wait. Yeah. So you choose all these options in entry, senior, etc., etc. So you upload all of this. Now what you do is, you upload your resume. For example, I want to see, I've uploaded my resume here. Okay, now what you do is, you can also upload your job description. Now what it'll do is, it will match. It will show you that how much of a match, look at how well it is analyzing each and everything, and then it will give you an entire description of your resume, that this is what it lacks, this is what good thing is, this is what you bad. Look, there is an entire resume review that comes up. So it will tell you all the sections, what is good, what is bad, what needs to be done. Look at this, there's an entire description that it has come up with. All these scores are there. See how good it is. Another good thing about this site is, you can also just a second. You can also see how much of your resume is in lines with the job that you're applying to. It's just somewhere here only. Yeah, look at this. Your resume, okay, here somewhere down below, somewhere here. But nevertheless, I will advise you to really explore this site, and it could really give you some amazing perspectives. What it does is, you have to upload your resume and you have to copy the job description and paste the content. It will actually give you an entire score of how much your resume matches the job and how fit you are and what all changes you need to make. Okay. All right, I think with that being said, it's exactly 6:30. Guys, I really hope this was an insightful session. You were able to gain a lot of understanding perspectives from this. I would really love to know how was the session, whether you liked it or not. If you have any queries, probably there are a lot of things that we were not able to cover, but hopefully probably in case I get a chance, so maybe next session. In case you have any doubts or confusion, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll be very happy to help you all. Amit, anything from your side?
Yeah, thank you, Sada, for this amazing session on resume building. Your insights are valuable, and your ability to simplify complex concepts was commendable. Your engaging and thoughtful, provoking session will actually help students create impactful resumes that can impress potential employers. We are grateful for your expertise and effort in preparing and delivering the session.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I think I've already told all the sites. I'm getting a lot of options in here. So thank you all. Thank you so much. I would really like it if you could all, go to that link where I'll actually just share it with all of you. I'd really love to know your insights. Just 1 second. I'll reshare that link here, and I would really like your comments, because in here, you're about to wrap the session. It doesn't I'm not able to read all of it. So I'm resharing this post, and I would love to hear your feedback on this post. So please do write down your feedback on this LinkedIn post about the session. I'll be really very grateful. I've reshared the link. Again, it's the same link where you had registered on the site. So please do put in your comments, your feedback about the session, and be happy to see all of you once again. Thank you all. Good evening, and bye-bye.
Once again, thank you, Sada.